Here we go, next sequence. We're up to the cross butts. I call them cross butts, call them cross seams, call them whatever you want. I call them cross butts, okay? It's when two factory edges butt each other, all right? Sometimes that's not always possible. Sometimes you have to cut the board and butt each one against each other. We like to go factory to factory. That gives us the best possible chance of success and getting those butt joints to get close together, right? However, butt joints are challenging. They always leave a hump. There's a couple of new products out there, I think we'll mention them in the future, that enable us to create a better cross butt finish. But for right now, we're gonna have to deal with what we have. This is the set that we built. I created a bunch of cross butts on a short span so we could show the teaching method here, all right? Again, 10-inch knife. I use a 10-inch for my second coat, okay? I want you to remember to always put your knife on that cross butt. We helped ourselves on the first coat. You see how this cross butt looks different than this one does, okay? This one, we created a little bit of there was a hump here, all right? And what I did is on the first coat, I pre-filled over the tape to give us a chance to be successful for the second coat. I added compound here, and you can see it, to float this side. What we're doing is we're beginning the process of creating a flat surface. It's very, very difficult to do on cross butts if they're bad. This one we got pretty lucky, okay? It's got a little bit of a rock to it, not much. Let's check this one. This one is also flat, okay? This one is also flat. So we got very lucky here. A lot of times they're not flat. They have a rock. They have a high side and a low side. And that is why I pre-filled this second coat. And I always do that. I taught all my guys to do that from the very, very beginning. We would go around the home, and I told this in the beginning, we would go around the job site or the house that we were working in, and we would pre-fill one side or the other when the tape was still wet during the first coat, so it all dried together. That was the premise of that. Have it all dry together, okay? I'm constantly checking this, constantly looking to see which the high part was the low part. There's a little bit of a rock there. So we're gonna determine that this side needs to be built up a little bit more than this side to create the flat surface, all right? So let me show you how we do that. Again, our cap is not done yet. You're gonna do your cross butt. My recommendation as a beginner and a homeowner, do your cross butt in sequence. You do your seam first, let this dry. Do your cross butt, let this dry, and then come through and do your cap because you can pull through. If you wanna do it all together, of course that's acceptable. Takes a little bit more finesse and technique, and we will explain that way down the line because that's a little bit more of an advanced taping application. So again, just like we showed you with the seams, you're gonna get the compound on the knife, full 10 inches, and you're gonna start identifying the center of your cross butt, and you're gonna pull one side. See how we're starting to create the width on this cross butt to give us a flat surface, okay? We pull right through that seam. That's how I do it. You can stop here if you want. You can stop here if you want. I do it this way. It just creates more of a uniform finish for me. I cut the edge the same way on the seams as on the cross butt as I did on the seams. Turn my knife in, cut the edge. I think you're starting to beginning to see that everything is repetition. Everything is pretty much the same. Once you learn how to get the mud there's the mud on the knife, it's gonna be the same each time. Let's pull it on this side now. Same thing we did on that side. You can go over it again. Make sure it's nice and flat, uniform, okay? And I'm gonna want you to cut the edge. Cut it, turn the knife in, and cut. You see how we still have a little bit in the center there that we need to do? Need to coat. Get some more compound on your knife. And again, your final application of putting this compound on. And we're going back, you see those pock marks? That's in the material. We want to make sure we don't leave these pock marks. We want to get those pock marks out, okay? So now that we have the compound spread out pretty evenly, now we're going to do our finish wipes. We determine that this is the side that we need to build up. It's a little bit lower, create a flat surface. It's going to take a few wipes to do this, okay? I want you to come on this side, and I want you to come down, hardly any pressure, just wipe, okay? You see where we have those pock marks in there. That's what we were talking about earlier, identify those. We want those to be gone, okay? Or as much as possible. We may not be able to eliminate them completely, but we're gonna get pretty close. We come on this side, and we're gonna wipe, okay? We're gonna go back a couple more times. The crossbutts are more of a finesse aspect, and we want it to be flat. So it may take us a couple of times to get it nice and flat. I like to go down the middle. Again, right side, left side, then down the middle. Pull a little bit more compound off of there. We're gonna need to pull a little bit more. I'm okay with that. It takes a couple of wipes on your butts. Here's a little trick, technique that I always showed my apprentices. Sometimes you got two sides that need compound. Maybe your crown is in the middle, okay? You can wipe it like this, and this could be your final wipe. You could leave a line on this side, and you could leave a line on this side, and that's gonna make us create a flat surface over the course of, right, this is 20 inches. And when we polish this, we're gonna be out even further, all right? That's acceptable. If you wanna leave a line there and a line there, I'm okay with that. That's gonna get sanded out. So don't be worried. When it dries, you give it a quick scrape and a light sand. This compound is very soft that I use. Doesn't take much to sand this down. However, I'm gonna show you how to leave one line on one side, okay? Because that's what we're trying to achieve on this particular crossbutt. Each crossbutt is going to be different. Hopefully we get all flat crossbutts like this. This essentially is just a seam. We got lucky, right? It's flat. Again, we're gonna go back to this side, and we're gonna just gently go down our crossbutt. We're gonna eliminate as much of the pock marks as we possibly can. This material actually is really forgiving. Doesn't have as many pock marks as other materials that I've used. So that's why I choose this. And then lastly, this is going to be our last wipe. We're gonna come to the edge, and look where my finger is, and look where my hand is. We're literally just gliding our 10-inch knife across. We're leaving an edge. Look at the angle of my knife, and we're building up this side. We didn't build up this side, we built up this side. Okay, there's our line. When that dries, we give it a nice scrape, a quick sand, and we're ready to proceed with the third coat. Hopefully that makes sense. Crossbutts are challenging. Even professionals struggle with them sometimes. That's why the comments that were made, you know, why do you have so many crossbutts on a short wall? This is obviously a demo. Ideally, on a job site situation, we want as little crossbutts as we possibly can. That's why we hung 16-foot boards back in the day. Only straight seams, no crossbutts, but that's more technical than we need to get into. However you get there, you get there. Let's move over to this quick sealing. This little short crossbutt here, this is actually flat. So our technique on this particular seam is going to be the same as our regular seam. We're gonna spread that compound out on our hawk. You could see it. It's the same as the other ones. Repetition. Let's get our knife right into that cap. Press and pull. You see how that compound's going to want to fall? That's why I like my Hawk. Yes, you can catch it in your other, whatever you're using to hold your compound on. You can catch it. You can catch it with your hand. You want to catch it like this? Catch it like that. Tastes pretty good. I wouldn't eat a lot of it, but again, go back. Make sure it's nice and uniform. Make sure it's nice and flat. You don't want big globs. You don't want a glob here, glob here. Like what I don't want to see is like this. I don't want to see that. I want it to be flattened, pressed in, push, nice and uniform. If you do that, you're already starting your final wipe, right? Okay, now get your knife in there. Cut the edge, right? Angle in, finger here, hands down. You're always going to push the compound into the seam on the second coat, okay? You're always going to push the compound out on the third coat. That's how we build it over consistency. 6-inch, 10-inch, 12-inch, 6-inch, 8-inch, 10-inch. You always go bigger, okay? Let's cut this edge. Again, finger on this side, left side now, and you're gonna push in. You're gonna cut in, cut in, cut in, cut in, right? You got both sides cut. Now, my last wipe on the ceilings, I'm really gonna drop down a lot. My hands are down here on the bottom of the knife, my fingers here. We're gonna get right in there, nice and square. Try not to leave too many globs on this, on your cap, because you're gonna come back and second coat that later. You're gonna pull this. Let's get it nice and flat. We're gonna go over this twice. First time, we're gonna kind of feel the sheetrock and pull off any excess. Look how much came off, okay? And your last wipe is going to be very flat, no pressure, and it's going to be designed to remove any of those pock marks that are in there and smooth this out and get it nice and flat. That's what we want, flat. Here we go. Look at my knife. Look at my fingers down here. My index finger is literally there. It's important. And it helps, okay? Let's get that nice and flat. Look how flat that is. And we're gonna pull. And we're gonna go through. There's no pock marks. It's nice and smooth. Limited amount of sanding. And you're good to go. That's the Crossbutts. Let me do one in real time here, because I know Anthony wants to see that. He's very excited. You got to see the excitement on his face. It's unbelievable. I wish you were here to see it. We're going to check every one. Always check your crossbutts for a high spot, a low spot. We're very lucky here again. This crossbutt is flat. It's a little rocky. Your knife is going to tell you, tick, tick, tick. You're going to hear it right away. This one happens to be flat as well. So we're going to treat this just like a regular seam. Okay, we start from the bottom. This is how I start. I'm much more comfortable pulling up than I am going down. You want to go down like this? Perfectly fine. However you get it on there, get it on there. Okay, go to the bottom though, and go up. Okay? You want to finish here. You want to finish here, here. It's all fine. It's all covered. You're not humping. You're not adding. You're just being uniform. That's how I was taught. Okay? I like to come down. Let's go down just to flatten. Okay? The compound's already in there. Get it uniform. Same technique as I showed you earlier, folks. Cutting the edge. It's the same. You're going to cut the edge on everything but the screws. Okay? Cut the edge. Turn it inside. Look where my finger is. Right? It's on this side. Help yourself out. For me, it's really hard to control a knife with no finger up there, to cut the edge. I don't know how you would do that. If you do it, good for you. I mean, if it works for you, that's wonderful. I can't do it. My finger up here helps me, okay? Again, automatic, finger goes over here, cut this edge, okay? Back towards the seam. We're gonna do 2 wipes like we did up here. 2 wipes, okay? One's just gonna get it kind of uniform. And I wanna show you where my fingers are. Low on the blade, low on the handle. A little bit of debris in there, I didn't scrape it. We don't want that in there, so we're gonna pick that out, right? Last wipe, mostly to get the pock marks out. Get it nice and smooth, go to the bottom, look at how flat that is, and no pressure, okay? And we're done. I don't mind that. Different ways to finish your crossbutts. Flattening them out, this is a technique. Leaving a line on either side, that's a technique. Leaving one line on one side, that's a technique. Every situation is different. You'll have to address the situation on the job site. Hopefully you get lucky and you have predominantly flat cross seams, but if you don't, this is how you fix it. This is how you attempt to fix it. This is how you make it easier on the eye and maybe not so predominant when it's painted and you don't see that. That's the goal, flat and smooth, right? Like I say, repetition, flat and smooth.